I used to compete a lot as an athlete. So I think I could, like when I started breaking, what I loved about it was that it's so demanding physically. I used to be a competitive athlete, so I could apply my training as an athlete to how I would train as a b-boy or b-girl. But what I actually had to learn as a b-girl was all the other aspects, like musicality and feeling and style.
I do have a question though, and you could
Sure.
correct me if I'm wrong and fill in the blanks or what have you. So you started out with elemental or elemental, right?
Yeah.
However
Yeah,
you want to
hey,
flip
good
it.
accent.
Oh, I actually can speak a little French.
Oh,
Super
très bien.
tangent. I've been to Montreal a couple times. The first time I spoke, I did speak a whole bunch of French. The second and every time after that, not so much. So I feel kind of bad about myself. But I'm actually bringing my family there. That we're gonna spend the summer there because Montreal's probably gonna be one of my retirement cities because I really
Ooh,
think Montreal is just like I don't know. I think I was supposed to be from there.
oh
You know what I'm saying?
wow.
No
It
doubt.
has
So
that kind of effect on you. It's a
it
really beautiful
does.
place.
Right,
Mhm.
and since we on the tangent, I might as well finish it out. So when the first time I went to Montreal was also the first time I ever got back on the plane on a return flight, and legitly felt sad. Like, why do I
Oh,
have to go home? I was like,
wow.
I just wanted to go grab my family and come right back. I was like, man, I got to go back to my
Wow.
regular. I was like, I got to go back to work. I got to go back to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is for me. So it's definitely gonna be one on my retirement city list, and then I'll live there in the summer, and then I'll live somewhere else in the winter, but not
Good call.
necessarily even the U.S. But no doubt, right?
Good call.
Um,
Don't live here in the winter. I'm telling you.
no, no,
Come
no,
here.
no. I
Come
wouldn't
here in the
survive,
summer.
especially if I'm older, like because I'll be retirement age, and the bones will just start aching when that cold hits, So
Yeah, definitely.
no doubt.
Yeah. But yeah, you understand why I stayed here for 20 years. Like I was supposed to come here, go to university, go back to Alberta, but I
Right.
just got stuck here.
It,
It has that effect on you. The
right.
Montreal magic.
Yeah,
Well,
man. If
when you come,
Montreal is
let me
ever
know.
right, if they're ever looking for some city ambassadors who believe in what they selling, I'm always here.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? But to my question, so like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but so you start off with the Elemental crew, and now
Mhm.
you're in Legendary.
That's it. It's not finished. Our host is here. DJ Becky live on the whistle skills. Lynx on deck. Legendary Crew. Original style.
called Bgirl Crews. Why all Bgirl Crews? Why not, co-ed crews?
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, after it's funny because after Elemental 5, I actually helped build a B-Girl collective. So we built, after Elemental 5, we built a B-Girl collective of like 14 B-Girls called Solid State. And then I left, and then it became a dance company, and they did many shows over the years, and they also ran a dance studio. So I kind of went solo. Then I eventually started a crew which had guys in it, which was called All or Nothing Crew. Strangely enough, I've always been kind of the person who started the crew. Like, I think I was definitely one of the people who started Elemental 5. I started Solid State. I started All or Nothing Crew, which was with my former teacher, B-Boy Freezer, another B-Boy WD-40, B-Girl Raph. Like, we were just a mixed bunch of people. Well, that only lasted for a couple of years. And then after that, fast forward to, that was maybe like 2006. So we went to Rocksteady Anniversary in 2006. So then fast forward to 2009 is when I started Legendary Crew. Now, Legendary Crew, the name of Legendary Crew actually comes from an event that I organized in 1999, like with my first crew, Elemental 5, and also with Solid State. We organized an event called Legendary 1, and that event was like a focus on women in hip hop. So at that event, we had female MCs, female DJs, we had female capoeiristas, we had B-Girls, we had a zine, like a magazine that we made. So we had the visual art aspect covered. And so since that event, it was always my dream to kind of recreate that event. And eventually I got that opportunity through the event Queen's Creation.
Oh no, girl, you make me colo. Oh no, girl, you make me colo. Shaking the ass like colo, spreading money like colo. Even the beat they colo. Things I want they colo show you. Iskaba, iskelebete, iskoloboto. Iskaba, iskelebete, iskoloboto. Iskaba, iskelebete, iskoloboto. Iskaba.
But we'll talk more about that after. But my crew Legendary was the kind of like why we started Legendary Crew is, in a way, it was kind of a smaller version of a super crew of B-Girls, because what happened is that there were many of us in the city who were like killing it, like repping hard, and we had a good level, like we were recognized, but like, and we had won battles in the States. Like in 2009, I had already won a bunch of battles in the States and like come back, and been kind of won battles here in Montreal. And so there were a bunch of us who've been breaking for a long time. Like we've been breaking for like almost like what's been 1998 to 2009 is over 10 years. Like, so no crews had ever asked any of us to join. Like no crews had ever asked any of us B-Girls to join them. And so it was kind of frustrating all that time. And we were not whack, we were good, so it was weird.
All talented B-Girls, no room for them? Okay.
Yeah, that was the weird part, So we were just like, and it was a disadvantage because we were always entering like one-on-one battles or two-on-two battles or having to battle each other. Well, we could never enter crew battles because we didn't have a crew. And so I said, you know what? Here's the DIY happening again, which is I was like, you know what? They don't want to ask us to join their crews. Let's make a crew. Let's make a crew and battle them. And that's the essence. Like that's the legend. That's why Legendary exists. I said, let's join forces and battle. And then we'll be able to do crew battles. And then we'll battle the people who didn't want to let us into their crews. Well, for whatever reason, like they're all my friends. Like I don't really care at this point. I don't have beef with anybody. Like I let it go. But like, you know, it was just, that was the thing, is that I think that letting a B-girl into your crew, one, it was like, oh, well, then there'll be drama. She might start dating a B-boy, then there'll be issues. Or, oh, like, I think sometimes people see having a B-girl in their crew as a weakness. It's not an asset. They would see it as like a liability. Oh man, if we have a B-girl in our crew, we'll always have to let her go in, and then we might lose the battle. It just comes from like an ingrained mentality about B-girls being weaker. Sadly, it still exists.
Right. They think that that'll be like an automatic lost round.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want to bring even though a lot of us were pretty like good, you know, I just couldn't understand why nobody wanted us to be in their crew. So I said, all right, let's make a crew. And so then we started battling B-boy crews. And that was really interesting. I got so many interesting, like we would battle B-boy crews and they get so like, they'd like cry like afterwards because we beat them, you know, like it was hilarious. We went to United South and beat this crew of boys. Like we qualified and they didn't, and they started getting drunk.
You done drove these dudes to drinking. That is hilarious. You know something I thought of while you were explaining how Legendary came about, it kind of took me back to earlier in the interview when you were talking about you became a teacher to give access. So it's like you founded this crew to give this group of females access into this like crew versus crew world, because they had been like kind of left out. So this is kind of like a recurring theme that I'm seeing within you. So that's just dope. I'm just listening. I'm like, oh wow, the link. She linked,
making the links,
and you linked some males, some guys to the bar because they lost. You linked them with a bartender. There you go. Now, I do have another. Of course, I got so many questions for you because this is awesome. But so you also, what is your role with this? What is your role with Queen Creations?
So we had this panel discussion of an all-female panel discussion talking about women in hip hop culture, and that panel discussion went on for hours. Like it was just like so involved. The things that we had to say and that came up in the discussion, it was really powerful.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.